Welcome to CMV Productions Presents. The goal of this podcast is for those of you who have businesses or those of you who are thinking of going into business to get insight into what other business owners are doing. So hopefully you'll learn from the process. You can apply what we've gone over to your business, and hopefully that will help you in growing your business, which will help us all. And we hope that you enjoy it. We hope that you subscribe, and we look forward to learning together. Hi, Sammi.
Hey,
Welcome to the show.
thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. For those that don't know you, who are you, and what is it that you do?
Oh, okay. That's a loaded question. I am Samantha Williams. I am a bit of a serial entrepreneur. So I right now run two businesses. I run 628 Digital Design. That is a full service marketing agency and Certified B Corp. And then I also run a nonprofit, which is CMWP Foundation, is an entrepreneurial support organization empowering Black and minority men, women, and children entrepreneurs.
Right. Okay. Why start 628?
So 628 evolved from my first company, which is Sam's Word. So it's still a DBA of Sam's Word, as Cecil knows, because he does my insurance. And so I started Sam's Word many years ago as a professional writing company. And so I was writing on the side while working full time. And I was doing things like business letters and resumes. And then it started to become profitable. Well, people would ask me, how much money do I make doing the writing? And I was like, I can charge people?
Yeah.
And then I started charging people, and they were like, well, how much have you made? And I was like, I don't know, I never tracked it. So then I started keeping a spreadsheet, which even though I still use QuickBooks, I still rely on my spreadsheet every single day. And so I started a spreadsheet, and year over year, started making more money. And I was like, oh, maybe this should be a company. And then I had a cousin from Queens who was kind of just looking for money, and she was like, can I be your assistant? And I was like, I don't need an assistant. I work full time. She's like, no, you need an assistant. And so I hired her, paid her. She was happy. But she designed the Sam's Word logo. She built our website, started social media. And December 2015 is when I launched Sam's Word. But then over the years, I would hire women. I always hire Black women creatives. So I would hire women to help with the writing projects. And then those women had different skill sets. So we were designing logos, building websites, managing social media. And as we got better at the things we were doing, I would add it to the website. And then it was like, this doesn't look like a writing company anymore. And so in 2021, I evolved it from Sam's Word to 628 Digital Design and just rolled in the writing to our services, which is pretty much a differentiator too, because there's not a lot of creative agencies that do writing. They can build a really dope website with no words. They can make really good marketing materials. They look great, but it has the lorem ipsum on it. There's no words. And I partner with a lot of them. So that's fine too. It's worked for us. And so I took my son's birthday, because Sam's Word was, Sammy's Word, right? It was my company. But I wanted to do the same thing when I started 628, and I was like, how do I make it personable? And so his birthday is June 28th. And so I started 628 Digital Design, and we just kept going.
Nice. Very good, very good. How did you actually get into writing?
It came naturally to me. So I realized it when I was doing my undergrad. We had you had to write your 5-paragraph essays, and I would knock it out. Bing bong, is done. But my classmates were struggling, and I was like, my son is a math guy, so everything is methodical for him. And I told him, because he's a math guy, and I wanted him to get me and his father's good skills, right? So I do writing and reading, and his father's really good in math, and I'm like, he'll give both, and it'd be amazing. And no, he hates reading and writing and all that. And then I told him, when I think about it, writing is like a formula. When you're writing these 5-paragraph essays, you're following a formula. And if you can follow it, and now we have rubrics and everything, if you follow it, you'll be able to pull it together. Like a paragraph has a certain structure, a sentence has a certain structure. And then when you're pulling together a bigger piece of written information, you're just following that structure. Right. And so I realized my classmates struggled with it, and I'm not getting it out. I'm like, what's the next thing? 5 paragraphs? It's
Right.
simple. And they needed help, and so I started by like tutoring them and helping them. And then people in my family, they just knew I was a strong writer. I don't know how, but they knew I was a strong writer, so I was doing everybody's resumes. I was doing they had a issue with their HR department or something. I'm writing their letter for them. And then I just kept doing it. And I was advertising at one part, but now I stopped advertising writing a long time ago because people just know that's what I do. So even when I started my coaching business, I added content coaching as
Right.
one of the packages because people are like, I want to work with you. I want you to be my coach, but you could also do some writing for me too. And I'm like, yeah, I can roll into writing. So then it was an upsell. And
Right,
it was
right.
like people can take advantage of having Sammi as the coach and then having Sammi do your writing. And then in the background, we have the whole marketing agency that I can continue to upsell as I'm working with people.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. You mentioned CMWP. I'm bad with acronyms. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
Perfect. Talk to us about that. Why do that?
So CMWP started about 8 years ago now. And it started because I do a lot of networking. I've always done a lot of networking. And I would tell people all the time, I go into these rooms and I would say, as light as I am, I'm the only chocolate chip in the room. And I'm like, we understand the difference of networking with people like who look like us
Right.
versus who don't, right? So I've gone to networking events where I hand out flyers and business cards, and they will literally hand it back to me and say, I don't even want you to waste it. You can keep that.
Right.
Don't give that to me. I was networking with a group in Brantford when I first started.
So I'm sorry. Let me stop you right there. So what do you tell people, right, who are in that situation? How do you deal with that? What do you tell people like, hey, don't let that like, what is your message? for
Well,
that?
let's preface that a little bit. So the person that asked you, that said, "Don't give it back to you," what was your thought process when they said that? What was the reasoning you thought that they had behind that? And then let me know how you, what you.
In the
responded.
moment, I was like, "That's rude."
Right.
Like you don't even want to just take, even if you throw it away.
Right.
We know people throw away business cards all the time.
Yeah.
Even if you're just gonna throw it away, you're just blatantly like,
Yeah.
I don't even want it.
Right.
My next thought is, this not my people.
Right.
Like, I don't want to work with you. I don't want to network with you.
Right.
And so that's what I would tell people. If you have a situation like that, understand where you're valued
That's
and
right.
where you're not, and
Yeah.
create your own or go find some other place. Because I don't want to be. I don't feel like I have to be accepted everywhere, and it's cool if I'm not. But
Right.
with the rooms that I'm in, I want to be there because people find value in what I'm bringing and what I'm doing, and also I'm learning from the people who's there, and I want to learn from them.
Right.
And so that's how CMWP started, right? I would go networking, and it was very little of us. And then when I found a black person, usually black women, we're out there. So I find a black woman, and I'm like, ooh, you're a black woman. Let me get your business card. So I was like
Right.
collecting black women
Yeah.
from these different events. And then I had
That sounds like a whole different
yes,
conversation.
that's
But we'll get away from
not
that.
that type of conversation.
It's not that type of podcast.
It ain't that type of party.
No
okay?
diddy, no diddy.
No diddy.
So I had a group of women from one set of circles I was networking in, and we were talking about we need to build our own. We can do this on our own. These people, they don't accept us. People do business with those they know, like, and trust. We know that, right?
Yep.
Right.
So if they don't get to know you, they're never gonna like you. They're never gonna trust you, and that is a hard. Is it what, an egg to crack? Like nut to crack, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like you can't penetrate that because they have to first accept you in. When you go to these groups and they alienate you and you feel like you have to force the conversation and
Yeah.
force the networking, it's never going to work.
Right.
So I had one group of women from one set of circles here. And then I had another group of women from another set of circles from networking. And we were having the same conversation of how do we do this.
Right.
So then I brought the women together. And I was like, I don't have time to have separate conversations about the same thing.
Right.
Let's come together and talk about this. And then we said, we need to create our own space. Let's do Black women networking. Let's build that and let's put it together. But to do that takes work, right? Like you guys are working together, right? You have to stick to it. You have to make something come out of it.
Right.
And I didn't always have the buy-in to get us to the next step of what I knew we could do. And so those, let's say 6 to 8 women fizzled down to like 4 women.
Right.
And then I still wasn't getting the buy-in and stuff, and we wasn't moving things forward. And then I met Letitia, who's our vice president and co-founder of CMWP. When I met Letitia, our sons were in kindergarten together. And Letitia is also from New York. She's from the Bronx. And so the CMWP story is we go to attend the school's play, whatever the kids were doing, and we're both early. We don't know each other. We're both early. We're standing outside the school, and we're actively on our phones, ignoring each other because, well, I'm going to talk to you. I don't know you.
All right.
So actively ignoring
Typical
each
New
other.
Yorker, but yes, go ahead.
Yes, this is what we do. I don't know you.
All right.
And then we're getting like closer and closer to the front steps, and we're still not talking, doing whatever. And then we end up sitting next to each other for the school event. And then it was kind of like, oh, I guess I should acknowledge your existence at this point. And so we started talking, and we realized our kids were in the same grade, the same class, and they're actually really good friends. So they're still like best friends today. So that's how me and Letitia met. But in getting to know her, I was like, I'm gonna bring her in the CMWP.
Right.
What was going to be CMWP? I'm gonna bring her into this networking thing we're doing. And I brought her in, and one of the other co-founders was like, you can't just, because I brought her in and was like, this is Letitia. She's our new co-founder.
Right. You can't just.
And they're like,
right.
you can't just bring co-founders in. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I did. It's done. Letitia's a co-founder.
Right.
And now here we are, me and Letitia are the only ones running
Right.
CMWP.
Right.
And so we started CMWP as a monthly networking lunch and learn group. So we would invite all women to come, and we would try to host it at a minority or black-owned restaurant, or get it catered by a black or minority-owned restaurant. And we would talk about different entrepreneurial topics and things. And we were trying to grow a membership. So this was before COVID, so we started like 2018. And we had paper membership applications, and we would have these lunch and learns. And 40 women would come to the lunch, but nobody would become a member. And we were like, I don't understand it. So we had like 6 members, which were like the co-founders.
Right.
And we're like, how do we get more members? So March of 2020, we were planning a membership drive.
Right.
And then that got shut down because it was March of 2020, COVID. And so then we pivoted and said, let's do a virtual membership drive. That's when I met Elisa Bowens Mercado. I was attending a webinar that she was on during COVID, and she was mentioning how she's from New Haven, Connecticut, and she's been in business 20 years with her salsa. And I was like, I don't know her. Who is this woman? And so while I was attending that webinar online, I went to her website, and she was a panel on that webinar. So I went to her website and was like, we're planning a membership drive. Would you be our guest speaker? And as soon as she got done with that webinar, she replied and was like, absolutely, I'm in. So Elisa has been one of our like first founding members,
Right.
and it started from there. And we went from those 6 members in June to August. We had about 25, 30 members.
Right.
A year later, we had 150 members.
Wow.
And then it kept growing. During COVID, we had a lot of members. Now, Letitia just did a membership audit, and we were at 200 for a very long time, and now we're about 80 strong members.
Nice.
But
good.
now that we've also been so busy, so that this year we plan on really engaging with the members and growing the membership more, because we know what we can do.
Right.
We need help, though. We have capacity. And then just keep growing this community. So the CMWP also evolved over time.
Yeah.
So we started as a LLC. We started as a lunch and learn monthly group that we were doing. And then during COVID, we realized that we really should be a nonprofit. So it started as the collaboration of minority women professionals. That's what CMWP comes from. And so we formed a nonprofit that now serves Black and minority men, women, and children. And then we rolled the membership into the nonprofit. So similar to like a chamber, how they have a women in networking group.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing. So we serve all, but we do have a membership for women.
Got it.
Nice.
If someone wanted to join, where do they go? What do they do?
CMWPFoundation.org. Become a member. It's $25 a month or $199 a year. And if you do the annual membership, you also get extra perks like free membership to local chambers of commerce. We have tuition discounts to 3 colleges and academic institutions where you get 15% off your tuition. We're working on developing a women in leadership micro-credential through Southern School of Business. So there's a lot of different perks and incentives in joining. Our members also meet monthly. It used to be weekly, but now it's monthly for our goal setting and accountability call, Manifestation Monday. And on that call, we start with the mastermind topic, and then we go through our goals. So what was your last goal for last month? Right. What is your goal for this month that you want to accomplish? What is your SMART goal, which is a different goal, right? What is your, we encourage the members to read at least one book per quarter. So what book are you reading? Any events and promos that you want to tell us about? And then last year we folded in your fitness goal, because health is wealth, right? And you got to be taking care of, we talk about holistic entrepreneurial wellness.
Right.
And so health is about a part of that. So we now hold our members accountable for some type of health. You know, the women may say, I want to get up and walk 30 minutes one time a week or 3 times a week. Or I'm working out twice a week. I now want to do it 4 times a week. Right. Some say, I want to pray more. Part of my health is reading my Bible and praying more. Mm-hmm. So whatever it is that they want to work on, we're just there to help them hold themselves accountable.
Nice. So the whole point of this podcast that we're doing is really trying to help small business owners that are looking at this. They look at your company, look at what you're doing, and say, okay, where can that benefit me, right? So one of the things that sort of stood out with what your conversation was to me was the networking piece of it, right? And understanding that you don't have to force yourself into networking with people that don't want you there, right? So, and your process was, okay, if you don't want me here, that's fine.
I've always said I'm never going to beg for a seat at someone else's table when I can build my own.
That's right.
Like, I'm not going to do that. You're not going to, because that's uncomfortable in itself.
Right.
And you're still fighting this uphill battle where these people don't want you here.
Right. Yeah.
And even in business, I've gone through lots of things in my 10 years in business. And one, I was asked to remove myself from a board. So I was on several boards of directors. And I could talk to you about it sidebar later. But I was asked to remove myself because I was told that my nonprofit, CMWP, had became one of their biggest competitors. Really? And that they see competition here. And they asked if I saw a conflict of interest. And I was like, no, I see opportunities. Like, let's go, let's partner. Like, what are we doing? Let's dominate. Yeah. And they were like, no, it's a conflict of interest. And I fought it. And I was like, I don't understand this. Like, we could do so much good together. Like, this is giving crabs in a barrel mentality. Yeah. It's giving scarcity mindset. Like, there's more than enough opportunity for all of us out there. Right. And so I was told if I felt like it was the wrong decision, I could pitch it to the board and help the board understand what why this was a mistake that they would ask me to leave the board. Right. My mentor at the time, because I was hurt. I was heavily hurt. And my mentor was like, they don't want you there. Right. And she was like, you don't want to fight to be somewhere you're not wanted. Yeah. She was like, they see you as competition. It's sad, especially for who that organization is. It's sad, but what are you going to do? So then I said, when I talked to the board, I said, I understand this is what y'all came to. Right. But humbly, if you thought I was your biggest competition while I was on your board, what do you think is going to happen now? Right. Exactly. You just created a beast. Why would you do that? Yeah. Right. Why would you do that? Now I'm focused. Right. So Scott, to holla at me, man. but I've seen it a lot in business. And so don't fight to be somewhere you're not wanted. There's more than enough opportunity. You talk about one of the new groups that you're in. Like, there's more than enough. And if you don't find the group, create the group. Right. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of, starting us, especially if you're talking about a small business, right? When it's typically just you. Mm-hmm. And, you get that, you maybe got a credit card, you put everything on the credit card. Been there. Right? And you got to figure out, damn, I got to pay that credit card at the end of the month. But then you start figuring out, like, okay, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. And some people may get to a desperate point in that situation where it's like, I've got to get to know these people. Instead of really just saying, you know what, why don't I just go to the people that want to know me? Mm-hmm. And that's a big piece that I think a lot of small business owners really, they really fall into a really bad situation. That happens too with small business owners when they start, because they want to outside of networking, they need sales, right?
Yeah.
So they go to the people they know. They go to friends and family. They
Yeah.
go to Facebook and they're like, hey, I just started this lash business. You should come and check it out.
Yeah.
Those are not your clients,
Nope.
right? They don't believe you.
Right.
They
Yeah.
they sew you in diapers. And now I'm supposed to pay you for something?
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I came to that point too. It was like, I can help you with your resume, but I'm no longer doing it for free.
Right.
And it costs dollars.
Right. Costs money.
It costs money. It's
Yeah.
an investment.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, you knew the Sammy that did this for free. That Sammy don't exist no more.
Right.
Right? Today's price is not yesterday's price.
That's right. That's
Right? And so when you're just starting out and you're trying to build your book of business, you have to understand those people, they more likely want you to do it for them for free so you can build your portfolio
Right.
at least. And at some point, fine, you want to do that. But then once you start charging and put an emphasis on your pricing, you're going to realize those are not your clients.
Yeah, that's right. That's 100%. And your biggest thing is there. What you said is they gotta sell.
You got to sell.
Right.
Because how you going to pay that credit card bill?
That's right. How you gonna do it? It's like, and you know, we were talking about this earlier, and Vic, you might remember us discussing this about like restaurateurs, right? It just as an example, but this goes to any other business. You may have you might be the greatest cook in the world, right? You open up that restaurant, and then you say, I'm going to open this restaurant. Everybody's going to come because my food is great.
It's more than that.
Right. No, it's like that's the last thing you're going to be doing. What you're going to be doing first is marketing it. You're going to be going out, making sure everyone that you know and they know and their grandmothers knows about one, your grand opening, and then knows about everything that you're doing from a business perspective. And you have to do that every single day.
Let me tell you, I had a bad experience yesterday at a restaurant. And it was a restaurant that came highly recommended from several people.
Right.
I'm a foodie, so I go online, I'm checking it out. I'm making sure that it doesn't have like the orange stars and we're in the red zone,
Yeah.
right? And it was horrible. So much so, I started my post about it, but I didn't finish it. So I took my son to dinner and a play yesterday. I'm not even mentioning the dinner part of it in my
Right.
post
Yeah.
because it's no.
Yeah.
Right.
And so at this restaurant, it had all the vibes, right?
Right. Yeah.
But then we start from the very beginning. I made reservations. Make the reservations that says we give you 5 minutes leeway,
Right.
and then you lose your reservation. So now it's 10 minutes past the time we're supposed to have been there. We're waiting. You gave me 5 minutes. How many minutes am I supposed to give you?
Right.
Right.
That doesn't work both ways. Do I get a discount now
Right.
because I waited 15
Right.
minutes to sit?
Yes.
Then the server was slow. It took forever to even, how you sit down, can I take your drink
Right,
order,
yeah, yeah.
your appetizer, whatever.
What do you want to drink? Yeah.
15 minutes before we could place a drink order. Then we waited another 30 minutes to get said drinks. Okay? Then I had to flag the waiter down. And I'm like, can we get our drinks, please?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll go grab them for you. So he says the issue was my son ordered a mocktail, and they didn't have that mocktail available.
That's not 30 minutes.
30 minutes, though?
Yeah.
That's not 30
30
minute
minutes?
mocktail.
So then I said, we're going to put in our appetizers, and then we'll do the entrees. So then we put in the order, and the food starts coming out. Food's so delayed, but the food starts coming out. They bring everything at once. This is a very small square table.
You got a bunch of food.
There's
yeah, no place to eat. Yeah.
So they bring out all
Right.
my food, my apps, my entree, and I'm trying to move things around, and then I'm like, when's my son's food coming? This is not like 5-8 minutes later.
Yeah, you're well into this. Yeah.
Where's his food?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on its way. It's on its way. Then they come with his appetizer, followed maybe 5 minutes later by his burger that he ordered. But now we need to leave to make it to the play. Now I got to track down the waiter again.
Just to get the bill.
This is an interesting point. We were actually talking to our buddy Chris earlier
Yeah.
about being an owner versus the operator. How do you deal with that, right? Because there's the creative piece, right? The piece that you really enjoy doing versus, okay, but I still need to do these other things, whether it's
Right.
selling, whether it's accounting. You mentioned that your Excel spreadsheet. How do you manage that?
So for me, it's different because I'm not a creative, and people will tell me I am because I'm creative about entrepreneurship, I guess. But I'm not a graphic
you're a
designer.
writer.
I'm a
You're a
writer.
writer, yeah.
I'm a writer. But even back in the day, I was trying to outsource that, right?
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so I'm more in a CEO mindset. I'm not building websites. Like if I have to jump in, I'll do what I need to do. I've been up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, which maybe once a year that will happen, trying to figure out something or meet a deadline or somebody, I have to fire somebody and now I have to step in or I need to hire somebody. But I have the CEO mindset where I'm not the creative. I tell my team all the time, my goal is to be on the beach somewhere. I can pull out my dashboard. I can see how we're performing and the company operates without me. That's my goal. I don't want to be in a day-to-day trenches, right? I don't want to do that. And so, unfortunately, we're in a place right now. One of my independent contractors gave her notice 2 weeks ago. So the 31st was that Tuesday, is her last day. But it came to a point of, and I can talk about it because me and her have had these conversations. We all know what it is. And it came to a point of, am I going to fire you or are you going to quit?
Right.
Because this is not working. And I should not, in this role that she was in, that's like my right hand, right? So I should be able to walk away and you got the company.
Right.
And now it's been months and months and months later. We haven't even made a year with her on the team, but we never got to that point where I could walk away and know that I trust that it's handled. And she admitted to me too. She knows that she's not the person that I need for this role.
Right.
She knows that her staying in this position will hold the company back. It will hold me back. And we're friends.
Yeah.
So she's like, she'd rather just walk away now so that we don't tarnish our friendship and relationship.
That's good. That's good.
And I respect that because we know what it is. And we've had many conversations. Like, we know if it's working, it's great. If it's not, but my goal is CEO.
Yeah.
I want to be hands off, running the company, and other people are doing what they need to do. And I have somebody who makes sure everybody does what they need to do.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, though, that a lot of business owners just starting it don't get to that level. They don't see it. They don't see the end.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you're starting a business, and this is my opinion on it, you're starting a business, the first day you have to know how it's going to end. Mm-hmm. Where do you see it ending? Like, where are you ending up at the end of this?
So I do a lot of training and development.
Right.
And I'm blanking on it, but the term for when you end, what is it called?
Your
We're gonna have to edit this out.
Yeah, edit this out. Yeah.
But it's not just succession planning, but like how you gonna when you close the business, like
what's the end goal?
exit strategy. Your exit strategy, right?
Thank you.
So I've gone into business programming where they're like, what is your exit strategy?
Right.
Yes, you want to grow the business. Yes, you want to be profitable. What's your exit strategy?
Yeah.
Are you selling it? Is it going to be employee owned? Are you giving it to your family member? What is your exit strategy? Yeah. And people aren't thinking that. We're starting a business.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Let's go.
All happy and fun. Yeah. It's all going to be great.
Until you get into what I call that entrepreneurial insanity. And you're like,
that's right.
Why did I do this again?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. There's different ways to make money.
Yeah.
Why did I pick this one?
Yeah. And that comes to our next question about passion versus skill. Right? Now, to start a business, everyone tends to have a passion, right? So, and we have a skill associated with that, but what's really going to drive the business and I think we kind of talked about this already, but what's really going to drive the business when it comes to
I always say there's a Venn diagram of like, what do you like to do?
Right.
What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
What are people going to buy from you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And realistically, how much money can you make doing this thing? Right? And then there are people who go into business not because they're passionate about any certain thing. They just want a business.
Yeah.
And I see it in the federal contracting space where their business is to be SW enterprises. And then what they do is they go after federal contracts as the white label, but then they hire people to do whatever that contract says. And they're just the pass-through. Right? So their passion is making money.
Money, that's it. Yeah.
And they may niche down and say we're only going to go after marketing contracts with the government, or we're only going to do like manufacturing with the government or chemical base with the government. But whatever comes in, I have these other companies that I will tap into, and I'm just overseeing the project. Right. And then you have the people who are like, I do makeup really, really well. Look at my my friend, I did her makeup, I did it for her prom and whatever. And then they're like, now I'm going to make it a business.
Right.
Now it's SW Boutique and I'm going to do everybody's makeup.
Yeah.
And then they get tired of it.
Yeah.
Because they don't think about the taxes, the insurance,
Yeah.
the overhead costs.
Yeah.
Even when I started my business, I've always worked from home. And I've always told people I work from home. I don't have any overhead.
Right.
But then I was like, oh, I got to register the business. That costs money. I got to get business insurance. Now I need new business insurance. Now I have employees, and that comes with taxes
Yeah.
and
insurance.
insurance.
That's right.
Right. So even when you think you don't have the overhead, there's some type of added cost. And you really, we talk about pricing and things, right? You really have to figure out how does that passion project, that passion thing that you're doing make you money and enough money for you to pay your bills and then to pay other people if you need it, but then also to save, because in entrepreneurship, you are your own retirement plan.
Yep.
So you have to figure that out. I told you earlier, my son thought that, my son's 12. He's a retired entrepreneur. And he
Good
thought,
for him.
Yeah.
yes, very proud of him.
Yeah.
But he told me when it's time for him to retire in real life, it's fine because the government will give you $401,000.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And I was
Why-
like,
really? I'm
No.
retiring tomorrow.
I'm retiring right now. And I'm like, that's called the 401k that you put in. And if you have a good employer, they may match it.
Oh, Lord.
But
That's
in
so funny.
entrepreneurship, we don't have $401,000.
Like, what are you talking about? You got $401,000. You missed it. You missed it.
You know what? I'm retiring too.
That's it.
Close the business. Like he says, he finished his business. I'm
That's
finishing the business and I'm retiring it with my $401,000.
Nice. Awesome. Great strategy. Love that. It's beautiful.
Sammy, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you would like to discuss?
Oh boy. I mean, that's a
No,
loaded
go ahead,
question.
man.
I don't know. I don't know what we haven't discussed. I think right now the business, I mentioned pivoting during COVID with CMWP. I pivoted with from Sam's Word to 628. I focus a lot on filling the gaps, what's missing. Right now, what I'm finding that's missing is teaching businesses about corporate and federal contracting. And that's the next thing that I'm niching down in this year. And I do it on both sides, through my nonprofit and through 628. So in 628, I created an accelerator program, the 3 C's of corporate and federal contracting.
Right.
And we have 14 participants. And I didn't even advertise it because I collected my participants from people who attended webinars about these 3 C's. And then during the webinars, I would say, and this came, we build the plane while flying it, right? So literally, I was about to do a webinar for the New York City Women's Business Center. And I was talking to one of my AI strategists and coaches, and he was like, why don't we have accelerators for our own businesses? Like, people follow us, people trust us. We can do our own cohort. And I'm like, we could. And he was like, you should do one for this webinar. And I'm like, my webinar's in 3 hours. And you think I can create an accelerator program in 3 hours?
AI.
And did. And so in that first webinar I did, I hurried up. I created a Calendly link that was able to accept payment. So if you attend now, if you register now during this program, you can join for $99 through this link. Then I was like, so I took that link, made it a bit.ly, made it a QR code, put it in the PowerPoint presentation. Then I was like, because as we do, I'm like, I feel like I need to give them something though.
Right.
So then I had AI asked for a worksheet about the 3 C's. AI, Claude, gave me this it's like a 7-page workbook. And I was like, and there's like one error in the whole workbook. Of course I know it's because I'm a Virgo.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't care. This is dope. Like, they're going to take this. So I turned that into a QR code, in a bit.ly, put that on the slide. And I did 3 presentations. So in the first one, I'm like, join this accelerator. It's the 3 C's. We're going to go through it. And they were like, when does the accelerator start? I was like, I don't know. And they were like, okay, do you know how long the program is going to be? I was like, I don't know. I said, listen, I literally built this 2 hours ago for y'all.
Right.
I'm still in the process of building this program. I don't know everything it's going to include, but you get in for $99. So I did like 3 webinars and people registered. And then I was like, oh, more people are registering. And now, so then I'm talking to AI. Help me build this program, please.
Yeah.
What should the structure be?
Yeah.
And so we now have 14 participants, and I had to cut it off because the participants all get an hour consultation with me. We're meeting twice a month to go through everything, and I'm at capacity. I'm the only one doing it. And so I'm like, I had to cut it off and using this as a beta project to see what I'm going to do with it next time. So we have the 14 participants. I have guest speakers coming in. Guest speakers are in the supplier diversity world. So, you have people, there's a woman coming from Liberty Mutual. The supplier diversity people are when you submit your information to that company, their job is to know the minority, women, certified people.
Right.
And then when their organizations are looking for what you do, their job is to pitch you and to say, no, I talked to Sam. I know she's really good. You call 628. That's their job. Okay. So I have supplier diversity people coming in. I have other certified WBs, women business enterprises, and different professionals so that the participants can see the different aspects of what it takes. So the 3 C's are your capability statement, your certifications, and your corporate bio. Okay. And it's like a hidden 4th C, which is the connections, because you need the connections with these people. You have to build these relationships. Right. So I'm doing that through 628. I also have a contract with Advantage Valley in West Virginia where I'm a certifications consultant. And the businesses, it's all virtual, but the businesses in West Virginia get 10 hours a year to work with me so that they can get certified. And then I do quarterly webinars like I did here about certification in corporate and federal contracting. Wow. And so that's all through 628. And then on the CMWP side, my nonprofit, we get grants to do this work. Right. So we have a procurement readiness program that we got grant funded to do. And that's going to be similar cohort style, where we talk about the same like 3 C's and procurement and all of that, have guest speakers. But because it's nonprofit, it's free work. So people can participate and learn about corporate and federal contracting for free under the nonprofit. And then I have people on the 628 side who are paid clients, and I'm helping them navigate that whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're doing so much.
Yeah,
It's
you're
amazing.
doing a lot.
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh, while we're talking about CMWP, though, I must mention Friday, September 18th, is our 6th annual Queens of the Green golf tournament.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's our entry-level women's golf tournament to provide access for Black and minority women to experience golf. So all women are invited to golf. All you have to do is pay and show up, and we give you golf clubs. You get a matching shirt. Most of the women wear white skirts, and we're cute. We start with the golf lesson. And then we go out and do 9 holes. We don't even do the whole 18. Yeah. We give the ladies some liquid encouragement to help them while they're out there.
Nice day, loosen up.
Loosen up on the golf course.
Yeah. Water, correct?
Water.
It's all water, people.
All water. And we give them little mini speakers for their golf carts. Nice. And then each foursome is paired with a golf guide who are men who know how to golf. You guys golf?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I golf, but I wouldn't take advice from me.
No. So because the ladies are starting out, the golf guide just tells them like, this is how you navigate the golf course.
Oh, I can definitely do that.
And
I'm a pro at that.
We're here, so this is the club you need.
Yeah.
That's all the golf guide does.
Yeah,
right?
I can definitely do that.
And then everyone's invited to the networking lunch. And the golf tournament is also a sponsorship fundraiser. And so a scholarship fundraiser. So proceeds from the golf tournament goes toward a scholarship for a Black or brown student enrolled in the STEM program in Connecticut. And we also provide free childcare for the golf tournament, which, like I said, I like to fill the gaps. I don't know any other golf tournament with free childcare or even paid childcare.
That's right. All right.
But we want the women on the golf course. So Friday, September 18th is going to be at Ailing. Every time I say it, All In or Ailing, I get correct. I don't know. I'm from New York. However y'all want to say it.
Right.
It's going to be at the golf tournament, the golf club in New Haven.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Your New York accent just came
It
out.
did?
Right there. It did. Holy cow. Yeah.
It always does.
It slips up.
It always comes out.
With so much happening, what is the best way for people to find you if they want to follow you? They want to
At 628 Digital Design on everything. 628 Digital Design. And for my nonprofit, at CMWP Foundation on everything.
We'll put that all in our show notes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thank you very much.
That was a lot of talking. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Lord.
it was great to have you, and we really appreciate you coming out and telling people about how you did things in your business, and hopefully people can learn from this and do something better.
Yes, you could do it. You could do it.
Yeah, it's
Thank
all
you, Sammi.
possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.